Hey guys, it's Nina, and today is day 18 of the Strike Back Videoathon. Today's topic is series that I won't finish, or series I want to finish, I think. I'm not going to do that topic, though. I recently read an amazing book, and I want to talk about it, so that's what today's video is going to be. Let's get into it. So the book that I was saying that I loved is Starfish by Amigdon Bowman. I don't know how you say her name. I suck at name pronunciation, so I apologize. Into this book. I didn't think I was going to like it, honestly. I picked it up because it was new at the library and I wanted something newer. I think the cover's pretty, but it just seemed like something I wouldn't like. You know what I mean? And I didn't like the title Starfish. I feel like it didn't give me anything, you know? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So going into this, I had low expectations. I was like, I'm probably going to DNF this. I'm probably going to hate it. Boy, was I wrong, because this was amazing. It might end up being my favorite read of this year. Like, at the end of the year, when we have the top 10 books of 2018, this is probably going to be it. It's probably going to be it. So what the story is about. This story revolves around a young girl who is half Japanese and half white. Her mother is a bitch. Her mother is very critical and narcissistic and racist. She says a lot of racist things about the Japanese culture, even though her own children are part Japanese. And it really hurts our characters' feelings, and this mom in the book is pictured so badly, and she's just discouraging and rude, only really cares about herself, and it's hurtful. Anyway, our main character is dealing with social anxiety, which pretty much sprouted from her uncle sexually abusing her, and it goes on this trip through her trying to get away from that. She's very passionate about art, so she wants to apply for art school. She ends up reconnecting with an old friend and going to California to try out different art schools and see if she likes any of them and will apply there to get away from her mother. Going to be spoilery, so when I get to the spoilers, I'll alert you, and if you don't want to hear them, you can click off the video. This book, it was touching. It really affected me emotionally. In certain areas of the book, I related to her. I have dealt with social anxiety since I was a child, and it's really hard. It's very hard when people don't understand it. And in some areas of the books, you have Jamie not really understanding why she is like this, or why she won't do certain things, or why she's afraid or nervous, and I related to those things so much. Her social anxiety sprouted mostly from when she was a child. She was sexually abused. That's not what happened to me, so I'm not going to try and put myself in her shoes, because I can't even imagine that situation. This story tugged on my heartstrings. If you are looking for a contemporary and one that deals with a lot of issues, I mean, this book was everything. It involved diversity when dealing with race. It involved the relationship between parents and children, and also dealing with the relationship between siblings. It dealt with divorce and suicide and sexual abuse, social anxiety. It's so many different important issues were put into this book, and it was amazing. It was done so well. Me listing all those, it kind of makes me feel like, oh, if it has all that in it, it's going to be not done well. It's going to be overwhelming. But this was done in such a way that was just so good. Like, the writer really knew what she was doing, and I loved it, every second of it. I really don't have anything negative to say about this other than the cover. I think the cover is pretty. I just wish it wasn't titled what it was or something different so that would give me something. I mean, at the end of the book, pretty close to the end, they tell you why it's, like, called Starfish. There's a metaphor that goes along with it and whatever. And so I can see why it's titled that. I just don't personally like the title myself. But that's just my personal opinion. Other than the cover, there is nothing I want to complain about in this book. So, I'm going to move into the spoilers. If you don't want to hear that, click off now. So, the first thing I'm going to deal with is her social anxiety. Her social anxiety in areas definitely related to my experiences. So, as somebody who has dealt with this, it was accurate. Mostly. But, social anxiety is different for everyone. Like, depending how severe it is or whatever, you're going to have different experiences. And not everything that makes you nervous in a certain social situation is going to be something that triggers someone else. But from my experience, this is accurate and it was represented well. And I love, at the end of the book, she doesn't just magically get over her social anxiety. And that is something I truly appreciated. I feel like a lot of mental health books will have some guy and she falls in love with the guy and the guy takes away her problems. That's not what happened here. She had a guy and, you know, he helped her, but she didn't just magically get over her issues. And so at the end of the book, she's still dealing with the social anxiety, but she accepts it. And that's just, that's really great to see, because in real life, if you get a boyfriend, you're not just going to get over your depression or your social anxiety or your bipolar issues. Like, you're not just going to magically have your mental state change and become magical. Like, that is not how it works. And this was realistic in that area. And I truly appreciated that. So, when reading this book, I had nothing against the dad. I actually really liked the dad. I just wish he was more involved, and I didn't understand why he wasn't involved, because the main character had nothing against her dad. She liked her dad. It was just that he kind of abandoned them and got married or whatever, but he always, like, when she went to go see him, he seemed very kind and sweet and loving and accepting, so I don't understand why he never called her during everything that was going on. I didn't get that. The thing that really pissed me off is the whole book, she was blaming herself for the divorce and believing that her dad knew that she was sexually abused. And so in my mind, I was reading like her, so I thought he knew too, and I didn't understand why he never called the police or let her stay with her mother. Like, I didn't get that, and it made me very angry because he was being portrayed as a good dad for the most part. But in my mind, that doesn't make a good dad. If you know that happened and then you didn't do anything, like, that really pissed me off. At the end, we realized that's not true, that he didn't know about it, but throughout the book, that's what my mindset was. And I was angry, and I didn't get it. But what really, like, I think everyone can agree who's read this book, is the mom is a super fucking bitch, and Lord help this child, because it just amazed me. The entire time, her mother is making everything about herself. Her mom doesn't care about anything that she's passionate about. Her mom makes racist remarks to her. Her mom puts her down mentally and physically about her looks, and she doesn't let her children embrace their culture. She makes fun of their Japanese culture, you know, and she one thing that really pissed me off is she lied about the painting or drawing that she had when she was a young girl. She said, oh, I must have threw it away with the trash. And then years later, she's like, oh, well, this is better than that drawing you made when you were 8. And it's like, oh my God, like, why would you lie about that to a child? Why would you? She's a young child. Why could you not just be like, oh, that's beautiful, honey? Like, why do you have to put down her passion? Like, if a toddler fucking showed me some scribbles, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's so pretty. And like this girl actually had talent, you know? And so it's not just some scribbles on a paper. And I don't understand why her mother would just lie about something like that and be so unsupportive and rude. Her mother, oh my God, the whole story makes me mad. Her mother, after knowing that she was sexually abused, lets the uncle come and live with them. She tells her that, oh, you were young, you probably imagined it or dreamed it or remember it wrong. She doesn't, she sees that her child is having problems that's stemming from that, and yet she does not believe her, and she brushes it aside. She pretty much tells her daughter that she doesn't care about her. Like, that is what came to me. Like, if my mom did that, I honestly would just be like, you don't care about me, you don't love me, like, you're not my mom. That's not what moms do. And so when she let the uncle move in, it infuriated me. She forced interaction to talk during dinner, and she didn't take into consideration any of her daughter's feelings, and thought her daughter was just, making things about herself, which she should be. It is not bad to want attention. It's not bad to be heard, want to be heard. Like, something terrible happened to her, and you're treating it like it's nothing, and you are putting her in terrible situations and showing that you don't really care about your daughter. And when he does it again, yet again, comes into her room, her mother still doesn't believe her, and her mother refuses to put a lock on the door. And I still don't understand why her mom would refuse that. Like, what's the harm to her mom? Even if it's not true, even if her daughter was lying, why can't she have a lock on the door? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's a lock. It's not like it's gonna destroy you financially. It's not like it's gonna be some big deal, but her mom refuses. And it just really shows that her mom doesn't care about her daughter's protection. And I don't like it. Also, when the money started going missing, she immediately blames her daughter, and even though her daughter said that she was missing money first, and she blames her daughter, and then her daughter blames the uncle. Later, the mom believes that the uncle took it because her daughter isn't there, so she believes he took it. When it's confirmed that he actually didn't take the money, her mom blames the whole thing on her daughter again. She's like, oh, well, I kicked him out and ruined our relationship because you told me to. And it's like, no, she didn't. When she first told you that her uncle was stealing, you didn't believe her and you did nothing. You fucking assumed it all on your own because after the daughter left, money was still going missing. So that really pissed me off that she was trying to pin this on her daughter. One thing I'm going to say about the starfish metaphor, it was on point. Sorry, I have notes to make sure I put in everything I want to talk about. The starfish metaphor was on point, and so was the goddess metaphor was pretty too. And I liked those metaphors, that they were well thought out and they really fit into the book, and I appreciated that. The family that she went to stay with when she was in California, the artist, his family was really loving and caring and accepting. And that's kind of like the family she never had. So I'm really grateful that she had that experience and got to know what it was like for actual families and not to be living with her crazy psycho mother. And that really just touched my heart because they were so kind to her and loving. Going all out of order because I didn't put these notes in order. But again, I want to address the fact that the diversity in this book was well done, and it really showed the hardships of minorities and what they go through. I mean, I'm white. I live in a town that's pretty much all white, and I've never had this struggle because of my race of not being able to do something or to get looks or comments. And so to read it in a perspective like this really opened my eyes, and I really liked how it was represented. Okay, one thing I didn't like about Jamie. I know we're supposed to like Jamie, but there was points in the book where I was just annoyed with him. And one of them is when she was having social anxiety issues, and he just said, just relax, pretend like you're not here, pretend like there's not that many people, or I don't know exactly what he said, but it was more like, oh, just relax, calm down, pretend this. But that's all BS. When people say that to me, it makes me so angry because you can't just calm down. It's not something you can just do. Because if we could just do that, then we wouldn't have these problems to begin with. So it really made me angry. And I know he's trying to help, but it wasn't helpful. And I just wish he could understand that and support her and not put her in situations that's gonna make her upset or something like that. One thing I want to address, the whole story, she was blaming herself for her parents' divorce. I never understood why she blamed herself. I guess she was thinking that they were fighting because of her sexual abuse, and then her dad cheated and they got divorced. But either way, it wasn't her fault because her dad did cheat. So I still didn't like the fact that she was blaming herself for that. And the whole book, I was just like screaming at her, like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And yeah, at the end of the story, we realized her dad, like, she had the whole story wrong. Her mom cheated with her best friend's dad. And so her mom was such a liar throughout the entire thing. And her mom wanted to be the victim. And yeah. Another thing that I'm going to relate back, it's kind of like how Jamie was. Her mom made a comment and said, do you think it's cool to act this way and be all sensitive? Her mom doesn't even like comfort her with her social anxiety. Her mom shoves it in her face. Her mom won't get her help, and she's pretty much telling her daughter that she's doing this for attention when she's not. And I've had a similar experience to that, and it just infuriates me. And it's not cool to have a mental illness. It's not something that should be romanticized. It's not something that somebody should do for attention. So the fact that you would say this person was doing this to get attention makes me so upset. The last 30 pages of this book blew my mind. The fact that her brother tried to commit suicide, I was like, it didn't really surprise me because when he called at home, I knew something was wrong. I was worried that his uncle was doing it to him now that she wasn't here. We didn't really get details. I'm guessing it's just because of his mom being a psycho bitch. And so that really blew my mind. And he refused to let his mom in the hospital and to see him, and he didn't want to live with her anymore. So that was very heartbreaking and real, and wow. At the end, we also know that the mom never told the dad about the uncle, and all these different things. So I've already addressed them talking in this video. This video is all over the place. I'm sorry. One thing I am happy about, the end of this book, she is passionate enough to chase her dreams, and she goes to art school. She accepts her social anxiety. And yeah, one thing I also did love is at the end, her mom didn't change. Her mom was still a psycho bitch. Her mom was still narcissistic and rude. It was realistic because, I feel like at the end of the book, a lot of people expect all these things to change and for it to be a completely happy ending. But it's not. She didn't get over her social anxiety. And her mom is still the same person. Her mom didn't come to this, awakening and be like, oh, yeah, I should change my ways. My son tried to commit suicide, So I felt like that was very realistic, and I adored this book. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to go to my other YouTube channel, I'll link that down below too, along with the rest of my social media. Okay, guys. Bye.